you look at the state of the world right now, what's the first word that springs to your mind?
We have to think how to structure, how to design the post-corona era. And here, of course, the word reset comes to my mind, because one thing is clear: we cannot come back to the old normal.
Klaus Schwab's deceptively incompetent Great Reset plan, Pete Buttigieg, has made a mockery of the office of the Department of Transportation.
I'm still surprised that some people were surprised when I pointed to the fact that if a highway was built for the purpose of dividing a white and a black neighborhood, or if an underpass was constructed such that a bus carrying mostly black and Puerto Rican kids to a beach, or that would have been in New York, was designed too low for it to pass by, that obviously reflects racism that went into those design choices.
Pete Buttigieg and his party have been talking about how South Bend has been systemically racist for as long as I've been here. There hasn't been a Republican mayor since before I was born. The South Bend Common Council is dominated by Democrats. If South Bend is a systemically racist city, it is because the Democratic Party made it that way.
Acting as a tentacle of the World Economic Forum's Great Reset agenda, Buttigieg urged his comrade Trudeau to use his federal powers to end the truck blockade.
The two leaders agreed that the actions of the individuals who are obstructing travel and commerce between our two countries are having significant direct impacts on citizens' lives and livelihoods.
Meanwhile, Biden's handlers tighten the screws on free speech as the DHS bulletin asserts that the U.S. is in a heightened threat landscape due to the proliferation of false or misleading narratives, which sow discord or undermine public trust in U.S. government institutions.
When this comes to America, I hope the mayors, you may not want to call yourself conservative, but I promise you, citizens in your community will thank you if you don't allow anarchy to break out in your streets the way it broke out in Canada.
Could we return to the traditional multilateralism, do you think, or is the world on a new path?
I think also here we need a reset. We cannot go back to the system of multilateralism which we have established after World War II. What we need is a reform of the international system. Just think of the WTO. We have to integrate the new dimensions of global trade, like everything which has to do with e-commerce and so on. So definitively, multilateralism will get a boost by the election of President Biden. And I'm very hopeful that we can now create the necessary systems which we need for the 21st century.
As the war on American patriots stays on course, regardless of the FBI director's recent realization of the massive threat the Chinese pose as they infiltrate all layers of U.S. national security, the January 6th Inquisition will continue to serve as a blueprint to crush all dissent globally, unless it is revealed for the unconstitutional circus it really is. John Bound reporting.